There was a drill hole that they announced that was better than anything that was at Fosterville.
It's one thing to have gold. It's another thing entirely to have enough available open ground to stitch together and put together a district scale play.
There was a tripling of the grade at Fosterville just because of this new material. It was amazing.
The Swan Zone at Fosterville made Kirkland Lake $20 billion. What's the upside for Newfound Gold? I don't know. It's just very big.
I think the thing has a lot of upside from here.
The puzzle for me is, and it's going to sound, I don't know, ridiculous, but what can it earn ultimately, right? I'm an accountant. I'm a great believer in earnings, not production, not ASIC. What can you earn and what can you possibly pay to your shareholders? So when I see the kinds of values that initially Sockman put up and continues to put up, and then the first drill hole that we saw for Newfound Gold, which was 90 grams over 19 meters. I mean, oh my God. And of course, I'd seen all the drill results from Fosterville. And I realized that these were very Fosterville-like. What attracted me to Fosterville is that the CROCODILE had been mining, let's say 3 to 5 grams, and we're putting out drilling results where we go to 8 grams and then 10 grams, 15 grams.
20 plus gram, 100 plus gram in many places. And it was such an abrupt change, it caught everybody's attention, and caught Eric Sprott's attention.
They blasted the stope and they walked in, and it was a jewelry box. CROCODILE had blundered into some very high-grade material. They'd never seen a piece of visible gold before until that day.
I sometimes believe that accountants have more opportunity in mining than geologists do, because one thing a chartered accountant will figure out is 8 grams probably produces 5 times the profit of 4 grams. So you don't need much change to have a dramatic impact on the profitability of the company. I said to Quinton, I said, I can't understand how these guys are coming up with these great drill holes for an ore body that produce, 4 grams a year for 15 years, and all of a sudden out come these big drill holes. I said, could you find time to go down there and look at it?
Now, when he called, I have to admit, I was one of the skeptics, I guess, at that time. I was thinking, well, maybe they just hit a small high-grade pod and this thing's going to, end badly. But I'll tell you, I got on a plane, flew over to Melbourne, went up to Fosterville, and I was thoroughly convinced. As soon as I saw it, they have found one of these very rare but very prolific epizonal deposits. All of a sudden, it was a quantum leap in the grade.
And he essentially communicated to me that this looked incredibly prospective, beautiful orogenic ore body, very, very high grade. And as they went lower, of course, the grades got better. So he was instrumental in me. I already owned a pretty good position in CROCODILE, but subsequent to that, I increased my position in CROCODILE. I do my own calculations to what I think the true grades are, not the cut grades. And my calculation was, well, I think Fosterville's in the Swan and Eagle has 60 grams. And those grams are going to be incredibly profitable.
As soon as Newmarket completed the deal, we jammed the exploration budget from 3 to 15 million. And started drilling off the Swan Zone.
Quinton said you've got a very big, very valuable deposit and you should do the merger. Some of the people in management at Kirkland Lake were dead set against the merger.
And one of the beauties that I thought in terms of Kirkland was, well, if you can go from, let's say, 15 grams to 20 grams, you for sure going to double your profit. And the kind of drill holes that are coming up in the South of the Mine Complex were better than that. So it's the same thing. It was a matter of time, right?
Quinton talked to Eric Sprott and said, look, Ignore them. You need to move ahead and do the merger.
So by the time Newmarket sold the company to Kirkland Lake in November of 2016, they were mining 16 or 17 gram material. So there was a tripling of the grade at Fosterville just because of this new material.
And as it turned out, Kirkland, which was probably around a $1 billion market cap company, became a, whatever, 13 or 14 billion dollar market cap company, mostly on the back of Fosterville.
It was the right call because that turned into what became the Eagle and then Swan Zone and so forth. As it went down plunge, turned into a fantastic ore body.
When the reserves from the Swan Zone were released about a year after we sold the company, they had 2 million ounces at 60 grams. It was amazing.
Fosterville, as of right now, is the highest grade gold mine in the world. Newfound gold. Could it be bigger? Could it be closer to the surface? The very first hole they drilled was an absolute home run hole. And that gets scary because when you hit the ball out of the park and the first time at bat, you're never going to do that again. So the question is, could they duplicate it? Could they connect up the epizonal? And the answer is yes, and they have.
There was a drill hole that they announced that was better than anything that was at Fosterville. So I think that's a pretty good standard of measurement. It came up to, I think, 3,700 gram meters. Okay, 3,700 gram meters. And I think the best hole at Fosterville was about 3,000 gram meters. So, and then Fosterville is kind of the idol now of what everyone wants to have in an ore body. We all assess information every day. So, for example, let's take Newfoundland. They find Keats. That's great. Then you come along and find Lotto. Oh my God, we got another one already. And then you've got Golden Joint. And then the whole theory that the Appleton is spawning these ore bodies, spawning them one after another. So how many ore bodies are we going to have here?
Newfoundland was wide open. We drilled into Lotto. We ended up with a world-class set of numbers.
Boy, there's a lot of gold and they're finding it.
We have that exact same fault with mineralization for a footprint of 70 kilometers.
Who the hell gets 70 kilometers of strike? Yes, there's a gold rush. This is special and different. So, for example, if Newfound came up with another ore body somewhere, well, maybe I'd press my position even more because I think, okay, this seemed pretty easy. The first three were easy. Now we got a fourth. Like, what's the number? We can have 10 of these, 15 of them.